We haven't seen Lindell in a while because he's in deep shit as far as his legal problems, and he and his lawyers have been trying to bully Dominion into dropping their lawsuit, and it is not working because they have too much to gain. Namely, they get to have their own pillow company when this is all over. I don't know if you know that, but he's gonna that he's not gonna be able to afford to pay billions of dollars, so he's just gonna have to give them my pillow.
What?
It's true. It is true. I don't know if you know this,
Wow.
Mike. I know. Why would you even? I mean, you basically are playing. You're bluffing. You're playing poker, and you put the keys to your car that you need to drive home on the table.
What?
You did.
What?
It's true.
Wow.
I know. I was shocked as well.
Wow.
Right. Now where are you?
Wow.
Right. Agreed. Yeah. In the arms of an angel. He's losing weight. Stress will do that to you. Click on this thing. It's not clickbait at all.
I want to bring in Mike Lindell right now. Mike, before I get...
Let me bring in Mike Lindell because I need someone who looks even in the ballpark of how bagged out and fucked up I look.
So everything that's going on in Arizona and all the work you've been doing, I just got to...
You know what's going on in Arizona? Nothing. Nothing. You lost and lost again, and then you keep losing, and then they keep going, why are you bothering us again? And then they go, you lost, beat it.
Because I read this, and the first thing I think of is Mike Lindell, right?
Right. You mean the failure in Arizona to change a goddamn thing? I agree.
Lindell. So how does this? You're one of the most successful entrepreneurs in this nation. You your life over to Christ to go.
Did he? In what way? I know he's wearing the cross. Is that all you got to do? You just got to wear the badge, and suddenly you're a fucking cop. Is that how we work in this country now? You don't have to live up to the principles of the thing anymore. You wear the symbol. You are the symbol, man. If you're walking through a Bloods area, put on your red bandana. If you're walking through a Crips area, put on your blue bandana. Nobody's gonna ask. Just anytime there's a fire, show up in a hat. Who gives a shit?
Being a crack addict to a successful...
He's always got to drop it too. By the way, if you had to choose which one of these guys is a crack addict, like now, he looks like he's here for the intervention.
One of the greatest companies in America, employing thousands of people.
Yes, dozens and dozens.
No, I read here, and I read that you're a domestic terrorist, sir. What say you?
It's disgusting.
Well, I don't know if I give him that much credit. Thanks, Melody, for subscribing, by the way. And don't forget, you're watching Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. Like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Help us with the algorithm. If you're a troll, please type something in the chat room that isn't a racial epithet or something that will get automatically bounced out. Write something, one of those big, long diatribes like on Facebook that they do. Like, nuh-uh, Trump's still president. And the guy at the rally was a clone of JFK that's wearing a Trump skin suit. Right.
Steve, I read that this morning, and it's if you talk to people in Colorado, they already know that they've already been declared like America's mom when they batter and ram down their doors. I say now.
I don't know what that meant. America's mom when they're battering ram down their doors. I don't know. Yeah, and apparently he's at his chiropractor's office.
After reading this morning, anyone out there that's doing anything good, like or speaking out, you better just leave your door open in the morning around 9 o'clock and have a bunch of 20 breakfasts ready for the government to bash in your door. This is...
Well, if you leave it open and you've got breakfast ready, why would they bash it in? Unless it's that good. I mean, some of those Colorado breakfasts, I'm telling you, I've eaten at some places in Denver when I work at Comedy Works. Man, you know what the worst thing you can do in those places? Put the plate on top of your head, because your tongue will beat your brains out trying to get to it.
horrific is what it is, that they whatever.
It's amazing how if you don't turn over evidence, they're just going to come fucking get it.
All the stuff they're doing, they've been doing this for like a year and a half, where they flip it and say, that's what we're doing. It's like evil is good and good is evil. I mean,
yeah, they're not. Yeah, they're saying we're raiding the police station or something. Oh God, I wouldn't have thought that this is a man whose brain had been under the influence of massive amounts of drugs at any point. I don't know where you'd get that. Yes, the Denver omelets. City by the Bay.
If everybody can just see through this. I read one part of that, Steve, where it says they're protecting government institutions and mass gatherings, and they included churches in that. Like, okay, so now you're including churches so they can brainwash and propaganda the people, feed us this.
Well, churches aren't closed anymore.
Like garbage that somehow somebody that's speaking out about the election or the vaccine or they're speaking out against school.
What the fuck what is he holding up? That's the bulletin. Steve, put it down. We can't see what it is. You're turning into Rudy Giuliani. You can't hold up printouts as proof of anything. It doesn't work that way. Get one of your asshole friends to make a look. This is so stupid. I do this all the time. Johnny Million comes on my show, and I had to make a little screen so that I could show you guys. Look, it's like he's co-hosting. I had to make a little screen here so that I could put articles that I'm looking at on the screen so that we could see how easy that is. Steve, you lazy bastard. I sat down in Photoshop and cut myself out, put my little background in there, put a little, look at this, all that stuff, nothing. You prick you. Do a little homework. Sitting there, like, it's pitiful. Stop putting shit on your mantle and do some goddamn graphics work. Whatever package you bought from that graphics company was insufficient for the job.
And
I want DHS and the FBI and Merrick Garland and Little J. You're not going to be able to count in a presidential election illegal ballots. We're sorry. We're never going to get off that.
No, look, there they did. He finally did it. Look at that. All you ask and you shall receive. This is a first. Summary of terrorism threat to the U.S. homeland. February 7th. Okay. Summary of terrorist threat, U.S. homeland. February 7th. Here it is. Look at that. I can put the whole goddamn thing up. Look at that. This you can count on this being accurate from February to June. After June, we're gonna have to add more information. Key factors contributing to the current heightened threat level include the proliferation of false or misleading narratives which sow discord or undermine public trust in U.S. government institutions. Hi, Russia, you bastards. Continued calls for violence directed at U.S. critical infrastructure, soft targets and mass gatherings, faith-based institutions such as churches, synagogues, mosques, institutions for... Okay, thanks, China. Foreign terrorist organizations and domestic threat actors continuing to amplify pre-existing false or misleading narratives online to sow discord and undermine public trust in government institutions. Some of these actors do so to encourage unrest, which could lead to acts of violence against facilities, individuals, institutions, and organizations cited above. Recent attack at the synagogue in Colleyville, Texas, highlights the continuing threat of violence based on racial or religious motivations. Threats directed at historically black colleges and universities. This is the bomb threats of recent. COVID restrictions continue to decrease nationwide, increased access to commercial and government facilities, a rising number of mass gatherings to provide increased opportunities for individuals looking to commit acts of violence. The Timothy McVeighs of the world, which I'm sure Steve Bannon says was framed.
It's only certifiable chain of custody.
Hey, Steve, they put it on screen. Put it down. The person in Denver is trying to help you. His studio's run out of Denver or something like that.
Legal ballots, they count, and all of those must count from American citizens. They all must count, and hey, whoever wins, wins. Okay? This is beyond Trump.
That's what happened.
This is far beyond Trump. This is about what this republic means. And to have the department that has allowed 2 million illegal aliens in this country, right, and is shipping them all.
No, they have not. That is a lie. Just for the record, it's a lie. It's just a lie. As a matter of fact, the Biden administration is expelling people so fast, they don't even process them. One of the reasons why they have process and release for the people who are going to stay and have an asylum claim, those people, that number's way lower, is because they're not even bothering. If you're a single male by yourself, beat it. They just dump you back off in Mexico, and then you come back again, they do it again, then you come back again, they do it again. They keep punting them out, and then they count as, one person every time they come across, but it's the same dude. We've covered this a bunch of times.
Over this nation illegally, which will be the first article of impeachment. To put this out to try to intimidate people, do you think American patriots are going to back down 1 inch on this? The same.
Well, American patriots aren't going to try and blow up churches or create mass casualty events, so why does this apply to them? And the very fact that you think this applies to them is what's fucked up. You either think patriots would kill their fellow Americans in huge chunks, like just blowing up buildings or opening fire on crowds. You actually believe that shit? Or Mike Pillow does as well?
Department that has exacerbated the invasion, initiated and exacerbated the invasion of our country, is now going to try to back us down with this crap? Are you kidding me?
Well, no, nobody's. On the one hand, obviously they're just informing the rest of law enforcement that these are genuine threats. This isn't put out as it's not just a giant middle finger to people in right-wing media. And the fact that you think it is kind of crazy. But even more so, there is a really scary nexus between your belief that this is personal and the normal order of dealing with domestic and foreign terrorism in the United States. Because either you've given up the idea, if Steve Bannon has given up the idea that there is any separation between Russians and Chinese and Iranians and whoever else trying to foment discord in the United States, create political divisions that will set American against American, all the while financing effectively the future Ted Kaczynski's and Timothy McVeigh's of the world. And the fact that you have a problem with them being concerned about that or pushing back on that means that you're either all in and you're accepting of it, or you just want people to look the other way so that some of it can happen so you can prove that the border's too porous or some shit.
What do you think we could do with the 12 or 13 generations of patriots in every patriot grave throughout the world?
You mean the ones who fought and died so that we could have a peaceful exchange of power that you and your fucko friends tried to wreck?
Fought for American freedom. To fought to make this the freest nation on earth and the greatest nation on earth. We will not back down 1 inch. In fact,
and from what? Back down from what? Your dining room table? What is Steve Bannon doing? What do you mean back down? Dude yaps for a living. At least I know my place in this whole exchange. I know I'm fucking around and we're joking and I'm imparting genuine information. But I wouldn't be so fucking deluded as to think that I have some magic powers to turn people loose and make them commit acts that are in violation of their own moral and ethical stands, at least their alleged ones. This guy does. This guy thinks he can just by verbal fiat declare war on some people within the Republican Party, the Democratic Party, the U.S. establishment, the corporate America, fucking Facebook, whoever he has a problem with. And the idea is that if one of his followers was to decide to pull an ISIS on any of these people or start mailing anthrax people, then that's the idea of that's them not backing down.
We're now going on real offense. We're going to have.
Well, you've always been on real offense. I mean, obviously, anyone downwind of you knows this, Steve. And also, we're not as annoying as I find this argument, and as much flourish as I may give during my statements about it, don't think for a second that I actually fear this asshole or think he has any value or turns anything. Like, he might be one drop in the Chinese water torture experiment, the drip drip, but at no point is Steve Bannon going to be the thing that brings about the fall of America or sets loose the next civil war. Not going to happen. The people at his table barely give a fuck.
We're filing criminal complaints, civil complaints, child abuse complaints. We're going to
yes, child abuse complaints.
Overwhelm you and hold you accountable. You can take this and roll it up and put it where the sun does not shine, okay? Because you're not going to back us off.
You tell him, Steve. Yeah, that paper that has nothing to do with you, that's about real threats, that's probably the hard part. He's just pissed he didn't get named personally. Steve, nobody at Homeland Security really gives a fuck about you, dude. They got bigger fish to fry. You don't chart. Honestly, that's the problem Steve Bannon has right now. And Mike Lindell, for that matter. Neither one of them fucking chart. They don't make the list.
Mike Lindell.
That's right. You know, Steve, they want to put the fear. They've been doing this. They're kind of,
He almost said the fear of God, and then he recognized he has none.
Since this insanity, they put this out this morning. It comes on the heels of the greatest news we've had, in Arizona yesterday, that with this declaration to decertify the 2020 election. So isn't it? It's almost like the guy.
It's amazing that they fucking hell. This is what he's talking about, by the way. Rep. Fincham's bill to decertify Arizona election is more about 2022 than 2020. I was just tweeting right here. I believe in governmentation by tweet. Let me tell you what. Hold on. Let's see if I got something last screen. Whoops. Got to be something in here. No, that's all right. That'll work. Hold on. One of the great things about doing a little bit of legislating down here in Arizona is that you can wear your hat indoors as an affront to God and the lovely ladies walking around here. I don't even bother to do this. Fuck them. You know what I mean? Shine my boots. That's what I wear. I am wearing cowboy boots. I don't have any cows, but it's hot out here. There's nowhere to graze them in Arizona. But I do have the hat, and that's the important thing. You know, that we do. Anyways, I was just about to tweet on my Twitter feed. I do need a bolo. It's true. Wait, this is a weird hat. It like sits on where it doesn't even know where my fucking head is. Hold on. How about this one? Hello. Nope. Hi. No. Yeah, this is a little better. Here, this is more in line. Come on now. Now listen here. I want to tell you all something right now. We're going to decertify the election that is already, legally, this has no bearing on shit. But let me tell you, I'm up to my ass in free pillows right now. That's the sweetest thing right now. I was getting saddle sore, something awful. And luckily, all I had to do was file some sort of, I just scribbled this shit down on some toilet paper and filed it. And all of a sudden, I got my own promo code on Mike Pillow's website. It's amazing. It's so good. Here comes now the latest attempt to overthrow Arizona's vote in the 2020 presidential election, brought to us by a guy who's actually hoping we'll put him in charge of the state's future elections. No, seriously. Rep. Mark Fincham. That's how you pronounce it, by the way. Fincham. House Concurrent Resolution 2033 reads like a 7-page laundry list of imagined grievances and debunked conspiracy theories, topped off by a fantasy belief that the Arizona legislature somehow has the power to decertify the results of an election in Maricopa, Pima, and Yuma counties and recall the state's 2020 presidential elections. The real ones, I mean, not the phony ones that they put forward. All right, let's check this out. Here it is, man. I filed this afternoon. Come on, check it out. Let's get to read through this. Text of bill begins on the next page. Don't confuse this. Fincham, Barton, Biascuni, Burgess, Carter, Chaplick, Diaz, Fillmore, Martinez, Guillen, Parker, Senators Borelli, Rogers, and Townsend. We all sent this shit up there. Whereas a declaration of the results of statewide electoral contests in the 2020 general election is in dispute with a plausible cause and believe that multiple discrepancies get both criminal and non-criminal in nature, and that so many questionable ballots were commingled with legitimate ballots across the state of Arizona that significant voting has sold American. Whereas the Constitution of the United States provides for enumerated powers of the federal government, moreover, the 10th Amendment identifies the enumerated powers negative rights of the federal government while protesting vast enumerated powers of the state government, stating the power is not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by the states, are reserved to the states respectively or to the people, especially in federal elections. I mean, it don't say nothing in there about the federal government controlling federal elections. Oh, shit. Never mind. Keep reading. Whereas Article 1, Section 4, Clause 1 of the United States Constitutional Power State Legislature, including the legislature of the state of Arizona, prescribe the time, place, and manner of conducting elections, which, of course, we did. And we also granted emergency powers to the government in case we can't change them, in case they need some changing. And we were under an emergency declaration, and they did fucking change them. Shit. Whereas the definition of manner is the sole discretion of the legislature. Manner... Well, I ain't got no manners. You don't need manners. Ill-mannered, fuck you. Whereas Article 2, Section 1 clause of the United States of Arizona, whereas guarantee clause, 15 counties within the state of Arizona conducting an election November 3rd, 20, do I hear 55 sold American. Whereas the legislature, whereas blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but, whereas Arizona election, are you going to start everything with fucking whereas, son? Whereas the Arizona Election Code requires election officials at polling places points where ballots are received by United States Postal Service to authenticate the signatures of in-person voters. Well, shit. That fucks your whole thing. Patterns of analysis of early voting return envelopes revealed that 33,000 such ballot return envelopes images were 2-copy, 3-copy, 4-copy duplicates originating from 17,000 unique voters with no duplicates reported. Maricopa County's canvass report. And where, so this part is said to have happened, but didn't happen. Pattern analysis. That's, by the way, that's I got a pattern analysis farm over here. Wade doing this. Wait, you know, I grow all my soybeans all in a certain pattern based on crop circles that I believe will draw the attentions of the MK Ultra aliens that have been probing me for years. All right. Yeah. All right. Anyways, this is he filed this. You know where it's going? Fucking nowhere.
Marketing propaganda war going. Okay.
Oh, sorry. My bad. I left my hat on. That ain't right, ladies. I apologize. Right now, I'm going to switch over to a. That's impolite. How about this now? Hello. No, that's terrible. Put this shit on there. What kind of cowboy nonsense is that? What's this? Oh, great. I look like John Denver at a rodeo. He became... What's this? That's better. You are shunt. We are kicking you out of the Pennsylvania Dutch. You are a horrifying addition to our home. This is filth. Doing crack is a shunnable offense. It's terrible. All right, I'm back to being me. Hold on. There's one last. That's terrible. What is that? That's supposed to be a fucking hat? It looks like I look like a weird Mickey Mouse. That's not right. Okay, here we go. Back to the show.
You know what? This isn't Nazi Germany.
What?
They want to just put the fear in us that they're going to come door to door and.
Well, no, it isn't Nazi Germany. That is true. There is no Nazi Germany currently, thank goodness. thanks to the bravery of the very people that I was talking about earlier, who Steve Bannon wipes his ass with every time he, uses their name to excuse Trump's behavior of trying to seize the election for himself and stop the peaceful exchange of power. So fuck you on behalf of all them. Also, you get due process in this. So even if they come and they serve a warrant, they've had to get it through the courts, and they show up at your door. If they execute that warrant and they take anything that isn't theirs or they don't have the right to take, you can sue them. So piss off.
Arrest patriots for nothing, or put handcuffs in them like they did in Colorado with all these.
They put handcuffs in them. Now that's cruel and unusual punishment. I gotta say, I am not for that. I mean, you can put handcuffs on someone, but if you're putting them in them, that's Guantanamo shit, and I'm not for it. That's just wrong. Especially if you put them in open. I mean, it'd be one thing to try to get them in there closed or halfway through. You know, when they go halfway through, owie.
If they're homeschooling their children, they put handcuffs on, rip one of their daughters down the steps by their hoodie, but they don't get charged. It's fear, fear, fear. Well, we don't fear them anymore. It's we're seeing all across.
Well, why would you, dummy? You're not the person that they're going after. You're just in a lawsuit. You're not even brave enough to do some of this stupid shit yourself. You're outsourcing it. That's why other people are getting dragged. That's why other people are getting raided, because they listened to your fart fumes, did what you told them to do, and now they're legally fucked. Meanwhile, you're like flying around the fucking country with your pillow money.
This country, everybody, is courage. People, when I kept putting out the message, hey, don't save your courage for a rainy day because it's pouring outside. We're right now. This is the big storm. This is it right here. It's historical.
Yes, the storm is coming, and the Great Awakening. Also, Q bullshit. More Q stuff. Also, Q.
There's too many. Everyone, all the stuff that they have done to ruin our country is just helping. Everyone's seeing through all the propaganda, going, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense. Why are you bashing my friends Dorian? All they did was speak out that this election was the biggest crime in history.
Really? Because a lot of people have said that and haven't had their door kicked in. You sure there wasn't one more extra step that got their door kicked in by the... You think it was just talking? You think these are just... We've got free speech cops now? Is that what's happening? Is that what you really believe, Mike?
Manifested from there.
Because if you don't, and that's not true, and the people that are getting their door bashed in are actually hiding or evidence and evading subpoenas and the like, then what you're doing is you're bearing false witness against the cops that are carrying this out, the people that gave them orders, and that's a sin.
These garbage mandates. Steve, I went to 6 states in the last 5 days. You would get to some states, like I was in Nevada, and I'm going, you would swear that you're still back. You know, everybody had to have masks, and it's just like you go right across the river into Arizona, and it's like
I'm sorry. Shit, there's a river between us and Arizona? I thought we had water problems.
It's a time warp. It's like it's whatever the government puts on you in there.
They left it up to the states, fucko. You're not making a great case that Biden's a dictator if different states have different rules and it's okay. The citizens of those states have a say. If they don't like how long the mask mandates went on, for example, that's going to affect who they choose in the next election. You think?
State or that county.
Hype train.
And people are realizing
Level
that
3 hype train happening.
Is just control, fear. Put fear in you, more control, more control.
So Arizona isn't what you're saying?
That paper that came out this morning and said, we're now the terrorists. Give me a break.
I want to bring in Mike Lindell.
That's first of all, that's the end of it. The paper didn't fucking name drop you, stupid. A small number of threat actors. How we're responding, how you can help. Report potential threats, 9/11. Yeah, they don't name check Mike Lindell either. Yeah, this is, I mean, I'm looking through this paperwork because he's like, they're calling us terrorists. They're calling us terrorists. Why would you think they're talking about you? Unless this is part of your fucking plan. COVID-19 industries next one. Okay. People in 2020. Let's see. Must have been domestic violent extremists to justify violence since 2020 and could continue to inspire extremists to target government, healthcare, academic institutions. Domestic violent extremists have also viewed attacks against U.S. critical infrastructure as a means to create chaos and advance ideological goals, and recently aspired to disrupt U.S. electrical communications, critical infrastructure, including spreading false or misleading narratives about 5G cellular technology. Yeah, the fucking dude in Nashville. And again, who are you if you take what that asshole did in Nashville personally? If they're going after a guy who would blow up his fucking Winnebago in downtown Nashville to stop a 5G tower or the offices of AT&T or some shit, if they go after him, I must be next. What? Why is that your jump? It's very confusing.